題だぞ。先生方に報告してやる。あ、やばい。
人形化されてた生徒の
意識が戻っていたんだ。魔法学校に魔法が使えない生徒がいるなんて。報告だ。報告。
ついに来てしまいましたな、この時が。
So this was a great ending to Mashle. Like, this was a fantastic ending of the season, especially since it ended with an announcement of the Divine Visionary Selection Exam arc. Say that 5 times fast. I dare ya. You're gonna go like that. But anyways, I'm glad that they announced this season 2 basically coming in 2024. We don't know when specifically. I think I posted it a little bit earlier on my Twitter account. It is coming in January 2024. So basically it's going to be coming in winter season 2024. So basically around 6-7 months from now is when it'll be starting exactly. So we can expect this in the winter season of 2024, which of course takes place, the moment 2024 starts. So really good news there. I really love that they announced that right at the end, and it being a big aha cool moment. That was definitely something that was really cool to see. Now for this episode in totality, I love how they're kind of breaking the fourth wall kind of a bit. It doesn't always work in a lot of anime when they break the fourth wall, but I think in context of this show, I think it works quite a bit because it has a blend of taking itself serious and then at the same time taking itself unserious or not serious whatsoever. So I kind of like that blend of the two. I think it's really cool to be able to see, and I like how the episode literally started off with Grandpa and his would-be kidnapper at some point, now best friends, basically saying that they don't have to work because they have some screen time here. So I thought that was definitely really cool to see at the beginning. Then we have everything else that occurred this episode. Coincidentally, we find out later on at the end of the episode, specifically here, we find out that the name of the guy who attacked, who has the Jesus crown, his name is Cell War. I guess he's considered the Innocent Zero. Again, I might be boshing that. That might be the organization he works for. But they said Cell War Innocent Zero. So he's either Innocent Zero or he's Cell War. I don't know, exactly. But we finally found out his identity. At the end of the episode, we also found out that they've been searching for somebody, and that somebody seems to be Mosh. We can kind of put 2 and 2 together. If I were to put my anime thinking cap on, I would say that he was either an experiment or he was a child of a demon lord or a child of somebody on the evil side. And that child was lost maybe because his mom didn't want him to fall into those hands or something, and last-ditch effort, was able to get him away. She died, and then he was able to get found by his grandma or his grandpa or his dad or whatever you want to call it. A very Dragon Quest, Dragon Ball type, very normal type anime story, manga story there. And that none of that would surprise me if he was either a child of the experiment and somebody saved him because they didn't want to see whatever was happening to him from a baby, or he was the child of some evil progenitor or, Maho, like Demon Lord or something, and his original birth mom decided to save him or something like that. And now they've been searching for him the whole time, and they found him because he's going to be part of whatever concoction they originally needed him for or something like that. So none of that surprises me, but I like how we got left off. We basically, this whole Abyss arc, we got, the whole Abyss and Abel arc, we got to kind of put a cap on it. And of course, just like in Mashle fashion, like in very shonen fashion, the hero has to make the villains turn a new leaf, which is exactly what he ended up doing here. Now Abel owes him one. Oh, you won, champ. And so does Abyss as well. So he's able to save the 2 bad guys. But at the end of the day, he was able to get a multiple liner, in both of them on his side. So the forces that he has behind him now are growing and growing. So even though he doesn't have magic, he has just raw power. And he now has a good backing of people behind him who are strong. Unfortunately, at the end, he was he was found out by the people that he saved, the puppet characters, that he didn't have magic, and they said they're going to go tell a teacher. But it's like, I have so many questions about the puppets. How long were they puppets? Why was the principal allowing them to be puppets? You would assume that after a few days of these kids not showing up to class because they're puppets, that somebody would get suspicious, and the principal would find out and tell his students, like, hey, you can't just go manipulating and controlling students, So I have a lot of questions about, why Abel would just be allowed to have tons of puppet students and stuff like that. And the students, instead of saying thank you for saving us, and I can't believe I was puppet, they just said, I'm gonna go tell the teacher on you. Waggle, 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 waggle. So a lot of stuff that I just didn't like, but at the end of the day, just again, they break fourth walls, they take comedic effects. They want him to get found out so he could eat a cream puff and be like, well, I guess this is how it ends. He's just like, this is how it ends, and I think that they just did that for the comedic effect. Overall, though, Masho's been one of my favorite anime this season. Even though there's a lot of stuff I don't like, there's a lot of stuff I do like, and I think it's off to a fire start in comparison to other anime. Like I would put this in the same category as like Chainsaw Man and Black Clover and Fairy Tail and My Hero Academia. And I would say in comparison to a lot of those, I would say this has a faster start, a faster, more entertaining start than those. I think they, like all the ones I mentioned, for the most part, like Fairy Tail, Black Clover specifically, like those ones that ended up being really big juggernauts, especially Fairy Tail, but Black Clover just got a movie, like they were pretty juggernauts in the shonen industry. I would say they all had like a slower start, that by this point they were still going, they were still getting their bearings under them, as opposed to where they ended up. So the fact that Masho is in that same caliber, in that same category, but it seems to be starting off at a better foot. So I have some faith in Masho to deliver more and more good stories. So I can't wait to see more of it in winter season. So thank you all for being with me all season long. I'm going to put a cap on it and say this was a solid 8 out of 10 anime. I think 8 is a very good rating. I think that's a B rating in my mind. I would say this is a solid B anime. Like, that's really, really good. And if you look at my anime list, it's probably like in somewhere in like the 7s. So I would say me giving it an 8 is pretty high praise. And I really feel that way too. I think it was deserving of it. And I love characters like Lemon, who even after finding out that Masho is magicless, she was still concerned about his secret, because she's like, well, I can't. If his secret gets out, it's going to affect our marriage. And I love that so much. So anyways, let me know what you guys thought. Let me know your final thoughts. We have to say goodbye to each other. Let me know your final thoughts of Masho in the comments down below. And of course, I'll see you in summer season. The videos I have on screen coming up right now, if they're not already there, are me going through live chart and basically oohing and awing and booing a lot of the anime coming. And then I have a top 10 list of brand new anime, not returning, new anime you should watch in the summer. All right? I'm going to see you in summer in literally just a few days, because I think summer starts tomorrow. Have a great day, weekend, morning, afternoon, or night. Peace, friends.